Hello and welcome back to an architecture tour of Deus Ex Human Revolution. I am Simon and welcome to Panchea. We'll just stand here and look at this for a minute because that looks pretty awesome. So Panchea is an installation in the Arctic Ocean. I mean, that's why there's all that snow on the ground. It's not entirely clear what this installation is exactly, but it's here, it's in the Arctic Ocean. So the game starts you off here. And amazingly, there are no enemies in this first area, this entrance area. So this whole place is just here to look awesome. Literally, it's just here to look awesome. And I appreciate that. I appreciate gratuitous looking awesomeness. Because, you know, why not? Why not just have something look cool? So this is it's a loading bay, it says? 2 loading bay, 4 loading bay. I'm not sure how exactly this functions as a loading bay though, because the crane there, I guess they lift these cargo containers around this area. I mean, if you imagine the ship can enter into here, then you might say, well, you can lift the cargo onto the ship, but the ship can't actually get into here. This is like a helipad over there, so I don't know where they load the cargo. Maybe the ship is underneath here and they load through there, I don't know. But yeah, Panchaea, look at that. It says Panchaea, and that's a giant thing, and there's more other things that are slightly reminiscent of an offshore platform. You have... let's climb up. I don't know why there's a graphical glitch like that. I think it might just be my computer. But you have this thing in the ocean. You have ships in the horizon. And the main facility is back that way, obviously. So yeah, it's all very cool looking. And I don't think there's any symbolism though, aside from just looking awesome and yeah, just looking awesome. The main door is there, but in the game the door doesn't open, so you have to crawl through the service tunnels, as always. Service tunnels are not too interesting. I mean, they look almost the same as the ones in Taiyong Medical. There's not a very unique style to it. So let's just quickly move through this area. It's flooded and it's on fire. Bad things happened here, by the way, so that's why everything's all messed up. So this is the other side of those doors. That's where we came in from. This is I guess a warehouse area, storage area. There's more doors this way, but again, that's closed. So this is a gameplay area. So in the game there are plenty of enemies to avoid. Let's look at the map just to show you what this place is. It's not very good actually. Whoops. So there's a central area and then there's like 2 raised areas on either side. So this is one of the raised areas. I guess this is the central warehouse, you have trucks and everything else. I guess the cargo will come in through there, so that's the other side of the doors. 1-B hold. I'm not sure what that means. Some flags. Let's see, we got Canada, the UK, Japan and Sweden. Is that Brazil? No, that's the EU. India, Russia and China. Cool, they got everyone on board. So I guess the trucks will come in here and I guess through there they'll move into the facility if they weren't all crashed and burnt out like that. So this is just I guess it's like a cargo entrance or a freight entrance. We're in the wrong place. Let's head upstairs. Control tower is that way, and we do want to go up the control tower. Cargo lift, full of pallets and things. I think this place is still under construction, or maybe it was just finished, or nearly finished, when bad things happen. And the elevator is fairly long. Interesting. I wonder if that's because of the textures and models they have to load, or if it's because we're meant to be very high up. Whoa, look at that! So remember the big thing sticking up into the sky when we first came in at the beginning of the video? So now we're near the top of it, the control tower, and as you can see it's actually a giant cylinder in the middle of the ocean. So the ocean is there, and this is just a big empty hole in the middle of it. That's what Panchaea is. And you notice all the bodies lying around, so you can probably figure out that I've been here before. Now this circulation is very strange. It serves the gameplay in the sense that it makes you have to get through the enemies. But in the real building you might expect the elevator to leave you at a lobby, and then for the lobby to face the main area of the game directly. Oh, look at that. They actually put a map on the wall. Interesting. Hangar, control corridors, medium cabin, big cabin, Vista Ring B, Vista Ring... Oh, wow. Vista Ring B, Vista Ring A. I think they actually... This isn't an in-game map, this is a level design map. Because a vista is a term for a view that tells you what's going on in the story. Corridor vista. Yeah, you wouldn't have a corridor vista in the real world. I think they took a game design document and just stuck it on the wall. Maybe it's an Easter egg, so this is a vista. That's what you call a vista. Basically, it's a view that tells you the setting of the game, basically. So obviously we are in Panchaea, a giant thing in the ocean, and that's exactly what that tells you. See, even I've played through this game two times, and I'm still finding things that I haven't noticed before. And maybe it's as a useful clue. See, barricaded storage. Barricaded storage. You wouldn't say a barricaded storage if you were designing a building. Why would it be barricaded? But as a game design document, it's a barricaded storage, which is exactly what it was. That's cool. That's cheeky as well. They just put a game design document on the wall in the game. How postmodern. Anyway, there's a turret there. And this is the control room of Panchaea. Let's see. There's blood everywhere. Arctic geoengineering. Cameras. Control room. I won't tell you the plot or the story or anything like that. But all I'll say is the view looks pretty good. Look at this. So this is the control room. So this is where the boss would stand and survey his kingdom, or survey his creation, his realm. I think that's just a 2D image. I don't know if that's an actual model or a 2D image, but it looks pretty good anyway, regardless. In fact, you can't even fit the whole thing on screen at once, and that might be deliberate. You know, just to make it so big that you can't even see it all at once. Cool. So this room is like it's a bit like the bridge of a ship, isn't it? And I guess it is a control room. But aside from that, not too much to say about it. Yeah, you gotta wonder why they would need to face outwards. Yeah, no, that's... They can't see anything from here. If you're supposed to look down at your facility, then these steps should be downwards. These guys should be higher up than those guys, so they can look down onto whatever it is they're controlling. But the reason the steps are upwards is because in the game, that's where the interesting stuff happens. See that there's a podium there. So you make a speech from here, or somebody makes a speech from here. But as a control room, I think these guys really need to be higher up so they can actually see out the window into the facility. Anyway, that's the control tower. That's pretty awesome. Alright, now we have to walk all the way back and go back to the loading area, or like the cargo transport area, and go up the other side. I wonder if I should walk back or just cut out the walking. It's not too long. Let's just walk. And we can have another look out the window as we go. Alright. So we go to the other side of the loading area. I still can't get over the fact that they put a game design document on the wall in the game. I don't know. That's pretty amazing. Now I'm really wondering how much have I missed. Because, you know, earlier in the Taiyong Medical Headquarters, there were a few clues there as well, like follow the white rabbit and written in Chinese. I'm sure there's a lot of things I've missed. Alright, so the other side will take us down. So here's the other... Actually no, it doesn't actually, it just takes us inwards. Access granted, lockdown disengaged. So control tower is that way, checkpoint beta. Let's see. See, look at that! It says documents again. Maintenance. The hangar, maintenance room B, maintenance room A, maintenance corridor. I can't read that. From insertions. Insertion, they call it insertion. This is the underground. Oh, this is the corridors we came in through. The maintenance. Let's see if I can find the map. So no, I can't. I need to walk back to see it. Anyway, remember we came in to the outside, the doors were blocked, and then we went into a service area, so that's the insertion. And these were the flooded corridors that were on fire. And then you come out through there and it says to hangar, which is where we went to. And they call it insertion. I can't read that. Do I have a... No, I don't have anything that would magnify. Machinery. I'm guessing that, yeah, that's another area in this game, and that's just the same thing. So they actually put game design documents on the walls. I don't know. I'm sorry if you don't think that's too interesting. I'm just staring at that for minutes on end, trying to figure it out. So there's a locker here. Not too interesting. So now we're inside the facility. I guess we're still in service areas. There's a limb clinic that way. This one, not so fancy. Very utilitarian, although you can still buy stuff from them. Panchaea was built by augmented workers, so that's why there's a limb clinic, I guess, to service all the workers. So corridors, not very interesting. In fact, map. Yeah, that's a very big corridor. I don't know why. they felt the need to put in a giant corridor like that. So now we're in the ring area. Look at that. Giant things holding up other things. I'm not sure what's going on. But the ocean's out there. So this thing, does it curve around? It doesn't really curve, does it? It's just straight. But I guess we're on the outside of the ring of the Panchaea, above the ocean. A lot of bodies strewn about. And we can head downstairs as well. I think we have to head downstairs. But let's do that. There's other areas branching off from this place, but let's just have a look down here as well. Although it's not too interesting. It's pretty cool to have like these mega structures extending through the map. It really emphasizes the scale of the place. You know, giant supports going through the whole thing. And then in between them there's these elevated pathways, and then there's enemies and all that kind of stuff. The crane is not animated. Down here we have train tracks. I would suppose that, you know, that's used to transport various materials and parts to the different parts of Panchaea. So this place is huge. This place is like the size of a city and extends all the way down to the ocean floor, according to the game. Alright, so let's go back up and go into some of the side areas. And keeping in mind, this is a gameplay area, and compared to all the previous gameplay areas, this is much more impressive architecturally. So they really put in a lot of work into this, into designing this. I mean, this is the last area of the game, Panchaea, and so they really want to end with a bang. Right. You know, it looks pretty awesome from most angles, and that, I guess, is different from some of the previous areas as well, where, you know, some places will look better from a certain angle and then not so good from others. Here, almost wherever you walk and wherever you look, it's pretty awe-inspiring. And the way you do that, you know, in fact, the way to get any good architecture, you have to basically have an idea, build a prototype, and then test it. You know, walk through it, look around, and then make changes, build another prototype, look at it again, see what's wrong, and then make more changes. Basically, design is an iterative process. You go through it again and again, and each time you go through the cycle, it gets better and better. And that's the only way to get good design, because, you know, the first idea is never the best idea. You know, it's always after improving and improving it that you get a good result in the end. Anyway, we're in a sort of a service area. There were some computers back in that other room, and there's pipes and everything. Nobody knows what the pipes are for, but they look good. And then here, more computers. Alert. And that, you know, I've never figured out what that is supposed to be. That looks like the Large Hadron Collider, actually. I don't know if you know about your particle physics, but in Large Hadron Collider, in any particle accelerators, you have giant circular magnets accelerating streams of particles, and you smash them against each other to see what happens. And that looks like one of those magnets to me. Although obviously it's not, because if it were, then there'd be like a ring of magnets in a long tube to, you know, that's how you accelerate the particles in a circle. But since the since this segment kind of ends here, this can't be a particle accelerator. Maybe they just made that and just thought it looked cool, so they did it here. It does look pretty cool though, doesn't it? But no indication as to what it actually is. Alright, so that's this area. Let's just quickly run back out. Server room. Server room. Huh. Maybe that's meant to be a big computer. Although I don't know why a computer would look like that. Alright, so the next part that we want to go to is downstairs a little bit. Can we jump down? Okay, so yep. The next area is through here, machine room. If you remember when we look at the map on the wall, machine room was one of the places that they put on the wall, one of the design documents that they put on the wall. Another elevator ride. Machine room, and we're back in the black and yellow machinery kind of look. Which way? This way. See, this corridor doesn't lead anywhere except to where we need to go. Anyway, that's just another. We're just repeating the issue with gameplay versus a realistic building. So machines are on fire. That's reassuring, isn't it? Whoa, fancy lights. I didn't notice that before. Why are there fancy lights in this room? I mean, they're completely impractical as an actual light source. And I'm not sure why they put those fancy lights there. Maybe they just had them and didn't know where to put them, so they just put them somewhere. Is that? Yeah, that's the same map from before. So through here, more corridors that don't lead anywhere except... Oops, this is the wrong way. That's not the right way. Although if you notice, when we were up where those giant columns were upstairs, there was a hole in the ground. That's where the hole in the ground leads to. You can jump down into this place. That's a shortcut. And that was completely the wrong way. The right way is on the other side of the room. Through here... So this is another area. There's a submarine, interestingly. A submersible. Although it looks like it only carries one person. And there's a lot of people here. And there's a glass door up here as well. So I don't know why there's a submarine bay down here, although you don't really need a reason, I guess. It's just the game. Pitch black outside, unfortunately. So not too interesting, submarine bay. Alright, so... Wait, where am I going? Okay. Map, if you're interested. Submarine bay, the machine rooms. Yep, machine rooms are here. Actually no, submarine bay is here. There's like 2 machine rooms and then the elevator, so we're going back up to where the giant columns are. That's what those are. the giant columns, and then this way, which is where we're going next. So in this area, I guess it's fairly linear up until you get to the place where there's 3 giant columns. And from there are like 2 paths, 2 side paths, and in fact you don't have to go to those side paths. But the game kind of encourages you to do so. And then, aside from the side path, there's another main path to the next part of the game. So this part of the game is quite linear, really. I'm just trying to think what they could have based this on. Obviously there are no giant facilities in the Arctic in real life. Just trying to see where they might have gotten their inspiration from. I guess like offshore platforms, maybe dams? You know, those 3 things, they look like something you would find in a hydroelectric dam. Giant pipes channeling water. You know, because creativity doesn't come from nothing. Everyone draws inspiration from something else. So another corridor, fairly linear. A security checkpoint. Emergency! Danger! We're breathing apparatus in this area. Okay. That's not important to us. So now we cross a bridge, which again is very epic. Like most things in Panchaea, it's very epic. I don't think we can jump out. Actually, we can, and I think we'll die if we do. I'm guessing we are in between the inner and outer wall of Panchaea, but structurally I can tell you that this is not correct, because if there's water on one side pushing in, and you need the structure of the ring to hold the water back, then you can't have an empty gap like this without, you know, struts in between the 2 sides pushing it outwards. Otherwise, you know, structurally it doesn't do anything. Imagine 2 pieces of paper. You know, they don't do anything if you hold them apart like this. But if you have 2 pieces of paper and then stuff in between holding the 2 sides apart, then it's a lot stronger, even if it's just paper. Anyway, I mean, I maybe I'm not reading this correctly. Maybe this is not what I think it is, but I'm surprised there's no things, you know, between the 2 sides holding it apart. So we crossed the bridge, a lot of debris, broadcast center. I don't know why they have it on the sign, because according to the story the broadcast center is supposed to be secret. So here we are under... Wait, when did we come underneath the surface? I don't know, that doesn't make sense. Because we didn't move down at all. On the other side, we were above sea level. Maybe we still are, I don't know, maybe Panchaea is taller than I think it is. No, it's not, it doesn't work. Because if you remember how big the ring was, and how close to the water surface it was outside, we shouldn't be this far down. We should be very close to the top of the rim. Yeah, never mind that. So, oh, it's on fire, look at that. So we are almost at the end of the game. See here. Warning, once the elevator ride begins, there's no turning back. So the elevator, there's nothing interesting right there. We go down into Panchaea. And if you're hoping that we're gonna go all the way to the bottom, you're disappointed, because we don't. We kinda just go down a little bit and then we stop. When in the meantime, that looks pretty awesome, doesn't it? In fact, this doesn't look like the inside of Panchaea at all. If you remember how it looked from the control tower, I'm not sure this is the same thing. Huh. I guess that's one of the bad things about thinking too much about the game when you play it. You know, when I first came here, it was pretty awesome. Whoa, look at that. But the more you think about it, the more inconsistencies you can find, and the less impressed you become. That's the price of being careful. Anyway, there's this bit, and broadcast center. So this is the end of this series of videos. It's not quite the end of the game, but I'm not gonna show you the next bit because... Wait a minute, this... never mind. So I'm not gonna show you what's behind there because, well, that's the final bit of the game, and if you wanna see what it is, either you've played it yourself or find someone else's videos. Alright, so this has been the architecture of Deus Ex Human Revolution. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope, well, maybe if you learned anything along the way, that's cool. It's always good to learn things new. If you have any ideas, if you think I've missed something, or if you have anything you want to comment or contribute or ask me about, then yeah, feel free to leave comments. I'll try to reply to all questions if I can. And yep, I'll leave it at this. I love computer games and I love architecture, and I hope I can do more of these for other games as well. So thanks for watching. I'll see you in my other videos if you're interested.